away.
Hi everyone.
Welcome back to another episode of the Three Commoners podcast. Today, you're lucky and you have all three of us here today. So there's Shimon, there's Orday, and there's myself, Vanessa. And let's get into it. It's going to be a pretty chill day, a pretty chill podcast for us today. Not much going on. So we're just going to ride with the waves and discuss a few things that have caught our eyes in the last bit since we recorded. How's everybody doing? Already, what's up?
Oh, wow. Okay, so I'm going fast. I'm good. I've been okay. Some life things happen, but we thank God we're here. But
That's right.
I'm okay. I'm actually exhausted. As I mentioned earlier, I don't know, a few weeks ago, whatever, I decided that I'm going to be leaving my house every weekend.
That's true. We spoke about that. How's
I
that been going?
support
Shaman,
this. I support
I
this.
know, Shaman. I know you've been on my neck, so I decided to, but
Outside.
yeah, it's tiring to be honest because I didn't just want to go for like parties, blah blah blah. I just feel like that's a waste of, I don't know.
Do things that are fun to you though.
Yeah. So with that being said, I've done some networking events because it's a good way to connect with
Okay.
people without like strings. I don't know if that makes sense. Especially no
Yeah,
offense to
yeah.
Nigerians, but I don't enjoy going for Nigerian events because Nigerians stay in their silos. They don't cross over to people.
True.
So
I feel you.
it's a waste of time to go for those by myself. So I've gone for that, but I went for like last night I went to see a play. It was okay. I wouldn't say it was the best. It was an Nigerian like play, but it was fun. It was nice. So I'm trying to do those things and as I get
What's the name of the play?
huh?
What's the name of the play?
Oh god, it's called Black Butterfly, and it's like a new theater. What do you call theater group? Some
Okay.
Nigerian guy
In Toronto?
in Toronto. Yeah, I think the group is called Black Westward something, whatever.
Wow,
But
nice.
yeah, it was okay. I mean, it was, and there were actually people there I was surprised, but because I was kind of worried, like, I don't even know. I just saw this online, I went. But, anyways, the point is, I'm tired because this amount of effort to going out. I've been out twice this week.
It's a
I'm
lot.
tired.
It's
Yeah.
out of your scope.
You need a body, like someone who would help you do it together. That's
Yeah.
probably
I
the
think
best
even
ever.
with a body, you'll still be tired though.
Yeah,
Yeah, but at least that
ginger
way
you, sort of.
vent
They'll
out.
ginger
Yeah,
you to go out, yeah. I guess so.
No, but you could
Shimon, how
definitely
about
do
you?
it on your own. How am I? I'm good. There's a lot happening in my own life, work, mostly work, to be honest. It's just been a long gas
Wow.
last 2 or 3 weeks or so, and it looks like it's shaping to be for another 2 months. But yeah, work is tiring.
How
But
was your
personal life,
solo? How was your solo ride with the baby?
it was actually fun in a way because we had some help,
Okay.
so that came very clutch. Like that was so clutch because I might have died if it was just me.
Really?
Like just me alone on that team, that would have been intense. So I mean, because of the help, it was really, really, really good. It worked out quite well, to be honest. But I actually feel like now I spend less time with her, but then I'm spending more time with her now. I spend less time with her because we have more help and Chemotay is back. But yeah, it's been work. It's been a whirlwind for me. Like, I'm here. Not to put a dampener on everything, but yeah, it's all great. It's all like I can't complain. Honestly, it's just we thank God. This seems sad, so I'm trying to lighten it up.
Yeah, I guess not so bad, not so bad. I mean, it is what it is. I think that dad should have the kids one on one more often. So I'm happy that you're exposed to that very early. I think that's very important because maybe, I mean, not saying that you in particular don't have or see the value of your partner, but like maybe it will help people understand, right, how like tedious it is to actually like have the kid and all of that stuff. So that's cute. That's good. Myself, nothing much. I did see a play. I saw The Secret Life of Baba Segi's Wives too. So
Where's that?
Where?
Where was that?
that was good when I went to visit Tayo.
That was in Canada. I was like, wait, how did I not know that it's in Canada?
No.
That makes sense.
No, not in Canada.
How was that though? That's one of like those plays that's always making the
Yeah,
rounds.
yeah,
One,
yeah, yeah. I think it's been making the rounds and going coming back and forth, but it was really good. It was really great. I've read the book, so I think I appreciated the playlist a bit more than
um,
Taya would have or Taya did, even though she had a good time.
so
And it
Taya
was
did not appreciate it a bit.
she
That
did no,
playlist.
she had a good time. She had a good time, and it was very funny. Like the actors or yeah, the actors in the movie, like they really like had like or the person that wrote rather actually the playwright, the person that took it from the book to the play, tried to incorporate a lot of humor into it, and also they were very interactive with
Gotcha.
the
Okay.
audience, right? Yeah, so it was really good. It was really good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
What else? Nothing much. Just work. You know, we're working. Summer is here now. Weather feels nice. So that's good. I know the next few
I
weeks are going
definitely
to
want
be.
to see Cave next time I'm in Lagos.
Yeah,
I
you
don't know
should.
which one is
Culture.
sure. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what is going to be playing at that time. But I would definitely want to see one. I haven't seen a play in maybe a decade.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a long
I
time.
mean, yeah. It's funny because it's not such a big part of like our culture as Nigerians, but it is such a big part of our culture. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
The people that are into plays are into plays, and the people that are not into it are not into it at all. So that definitely makes sense. Yeah, next few weeks are exciting. My brother is graduating, my mom's around, so a lot of family related events going on. So yeah, we'll see how that goes and all of that. But nice catch up from everybody. Are we excited? Ujude Oba is coming up in I think it's tomorrow actually,
Yes,
June
tomorrow.
8th. It's tomorrow, yeah. So are we
it's
excited? Because I've been
tomorrow.
seeing all the. It's tomorrow, yeah. It's usually like
Wait, what is the schedule for it? It's like usually around this Eid period, right?
it's
Or is
always
it?
around this Eid
Yeah,
period, not
is it related to
Ramadan
Eid
Eid.
in any way? Like, is
Um,
it like, oh, we do it the day after Eid, or is it just? I don't know
so
what time it is. Does anyone know?
it is related to Eid in a way. So it always takes place on the third day.
Of
Okay. I feel like the gillies are going to be reaching the sky this year because it's a big deal, right? So everyone's going when
uh,
they're going to bring their best. The gillies are going to be reaching the
Yeah. So
sky. The jewels are
I
going to be
think
flashing. The glasses are going to be huge, or I don't know, ostentatious.
my
Mhm.
God.
Yeah. So it usually takes place on the third day after like Eid el Kabir, which is what we would like in Yoruba parlance would be called Ilea, right? So
Mm,
it takes place on the third day of Ilea, and the aim usually is to pay homage and show respect to the king of Ijebu land, basically. So it's a very Ijebu thing. It's not like happening across the country. It's very specific to like Ijebu people, and it's one of like their really big things. So they have like all their cultural age groups which
yeah,
are
yeah,
known
yeah.
as Regbe Regbe. That's what the cultural
Oh my God.
age
I
groups
didn't know
are.
that.
Yeah, so the cultural age groups are called Regbe Regbe, and it's usually composed of like the people that are from like Ijebu, right? Their friends and all of that, and then they go and do their parade. So when you see all those like really nice uniformed ashwebis and all of that with the sunglasses, and those are Regbe Regbe. So you know your Regbe Regbe based off of the like uniform that they are wearing that day and all of that. So they go, they do their thing in front of the palace or the courtyard, greeting the king and all of that, and it's just been a thing. I think it like took precedence or became like more popular in the last few years, but it's been going on for a really long time, and
Yeah,
now I think
forever.
yeah forever, and I think now people are just very interested in the you know
It's just like caught pop culture's attention
yeah,
recently.
it just recently
Because like
caught
when I was
pop
a kid,
culture,
people
yeah.
were going to Djibouti for this thing.
hmm
Nobody, it
that's
wasn't like
exactly what they were going for.
it
So
wasn't like as big a deal as it is now.
yeah,
I
so
think the photography and the pictures they just look so fly.
Hmm. That's
yeah, they are
yeah,
they
that's
are so I'm excited
that's
to
the
see
beauty
it.
of a good photographer. Just bring out the beauty, the colors, and everything, right? Because I bet people were taking pictures of that festival before, but
Yeah, 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 for sure.
yeah. So
No, it's always been a festival. People have always been going, but I think definitely I don't know. I can't remember his name, but when he did, was it like 3 years ago
yeah,
that
that
his
was when
first
I was
pictures came
viral.
out with the women
That was Ni
and
Fagbemi.
yeah, and then since then it's been like a thing. I feel like they even did one in Atlanta, yes, last year. I
What?
don't know. I may be wrong. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. Like, let me check this. That I saw like Ojude over Atlanta. I was like. This is interesting. But obviously not at the scale or
Oh, it can't be.
Steve's level of what they were doing in Lagos. But you know what? You know what's fascinating? I mean, let me not like spoil it a bit, but you know what's fascinating about when I see some of the pictures? Like the pictures in the I don't know the arena that they do, they look absolutely amazing. The women look great. Everybody, the horses, the way it all looks is really great. But I always keep wondering, like that area, like sometimes, like there was a picture I saw last year of one of the famous pictures, and I was just looking at the road. I was like, oh my god, this is kind of like they should do better. Like that town should be like developing to meet this festival because it's becoming such a big thing. The road should be fixed. There should be like more stuff going on. I imagine there's more hotels, but like you get what I mean? Like it shouldn't just be like, oh, we come to this town for 1 day or 2 days a 2 days a week, 2 days a year, forget about it. The town does nothing. It just goes back to I don't know. It's just a Nigerian thing.
But I found
Sorry, I ranted a bit.
I found a page. I think they have a page on Instagram, and I saw some. I think vendors posting their services kind of for the festival. So maybe there'll be knock-on effect.
No, I'm sure there
I think
is
there's
some
always that
knock-on effects now.
microcosm, yeah, in the
Yeah.
3 or 4, maybe 5 day span mark. So maybe
Yes.
2 days before the festival. So I mean, Ilea was yesterday, right? So maybe people have been there since Thursday. So Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. People maybe hang around till like Monday ish. So
Mm-hmm.
there'll be that if those economic activities going on in that period. But I
Right.
think that post is more so what like outside of Ilea and Ujude about like what is going on in these places.
Mm.
I mean, I think that's something that Nigeria struggles with in general, anyway.
True.
Whether
Don't
Abuja
get
or
me
maybe Port Harcourt.
started.
Because like also, it's also like this is hot right now. Not saying it would stop being hot. I mean, it's Nigeria, so there's the big chance that it can stop being hot because like
People just move on to other things.
not also that we just really just have this way of dropping the bag sometimes. Like I remember like there's been other like there was a time this festival was raining
Calabar.
in not
Not one?
well, let's not get there.
Festival.
Oh, okay.
The Doba, even the other one, the fishing one was raining when I was a kid. Yeah, when I was a kid, that was like, oh my god, they used to show it on every year. It was a thing. They would show it on TV. They would have like the big thing, and there would be something around it. But like nobody would talk about that. I don't know if they're still doing it.
So there are issues going on with the Argungu festival. Like between the waters not more like there's a drought,
Mm-hmm.
so the waters are not more coming the way they used to come, so they can't fish there's a bunch of stuff, and then the insecurity in the north. So go
Yeah,
So there are
figured.
issues, yeah, there are issues with the Argungu festival situation. But you're right, like there were festivals. In fact, even Lagos,
Oshobo
the
as
Eyo
well.
festival,
And it was hot 1 minute
yeah,
like
it was
that.
hot, like the whole thing, and then yeah, even the Oshobo. So we actually have quite a few festivals in Nigeria, but
It's just like the
stick.
making them stick. I mean, they don't always have to stick like that. You get what I mean? But like they do have to kind of still be kind of relevant for a minute.
I
Yeah,
think my
I would actually. No,
I'm
go
going
ahead
to say
already.
something that may have noticed. Nigeria generally we lack maintenance culture, right? When it comes to things that like I don't know, that requires long term that needs to be maintained in the long term. So for example, an event like this is just I don't know what it is, but we just don't know how to keep things going at the same standard for the long term. I don't know why. And I think it can apply to anything from like even just using appliances or infrastructure. But I think it also ties
Yeah,
into putting together an event every year annually at the same standard or even higher. It's just a problem.
yeah.
I don't know what it is. So I think that's probably why those festivals, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. It makes sense. There's just something, and hopefully we're able to like
Yeah. Something just gets
get
in
it
the way.
together at
Yeah.
some point. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like I mean the Ministry of Arts and Culture and all of these, MDGs or whatever that the government keeps creating, like
This
this
is their
should be their
job.
job, preserving the culture. Like, so what what are they doing to sell even these festivals like internationally, right? Because there are people that are interested in it. But
Yeah.
again, I don't I like Nigeria
You just be angry if you think
like
about it.
My sister,
Yeah,
do you understand? That's why I'm just like,
because the
I beg.
opportunities, even
But
just fabrics of people from the abroad to come and buy fabric,
right,
it's just
No, I
yeah,
mean, I mean, I don't think it will not stick, but I mean, I just feel like the town definitely needs to develop from it. Because when I saw pictures, I was like, I think it was the one where the Steez guy, he was outside,
yeah,
maybe he
Farouk.
was shirtless. And I was like, bruh, this is a nice picture, but just look at the background.
did
This
you
is
call
not
him
great.
Misty's guy,
You know?
please now?
You're in the thick of it, deep in the thick of
Yeah,
it.
I mean, it was a great picture, like, but like, I was just like, oh my, this is not like, this is, I don't know. I mean, we shouldn't compare it to like, other places, but you think about festivals that happen like a minute and the town is hot for that minute, like Cannes, or I don't know, there's one even in Aspect, man.
Venice Festival, yeah, all of that.
Yeah, but like, you don't, that's kind of like the thing you remember the town for a lot of times, but still, the town doesn't look like it's forgotten most of the
I
year. That's
mean, we're a third world country, so gotta put that
I
into.
think for me, like I'm just frustrated because a lot of times it's basic. It's not hard to make a road. I bet you the roads there, you can tar
yeah.
the road.
They're probably spending,
You
yeah.
can tar at least tar the roads.
They could do a fraction of the budget for it and be like, okay, let's
Mhm.
do just this year. I'm not saying they're not, though. We don't really know what's going on. So I don't know what's going on. But I remember when like Calabar Festival was hot. But that's also another thing. This could be like a way to make the town more hot, like more like touristy and stuff. You could showcase other things about the town. When Calabar was hot that year, he also had other stuff going for it, like those hotels. It was kind of like popping at the moment, but it wasn't, not comparing Calabar to Djibouti, but like I'm just saying at that time it wasn't. You didn't look at it and go like, oh, this is kind of like, even that didn't stick. So I
But
don't know.
maybe
I'm
there's
just
just
ranting a
nothing.
bit.
Maybe there's just nothing else in Ijebode. So we'll leave
No,
Ijebode
but
to.
Ijebu
No,
is
no, no,
not a
no.
bad town.
We'll leave Ijebode people to deal with their Ijebode problems. I cannot want your
Yeah.
city, your city to. Hey, no shade though.
You can't
Before they
want
will
it
come
more
and
than you
drag.
them, Abby.
Yeah,
You can't want it more than them, right?
But I
yeah,
get what
yeah.
Shemon is
So,
saying because like there are some landmarks globally I've been to. I'm just like, is this it? But
Yeah,
they have thriving industries, right? And I'm going to use a popular one,
and
Hollywood Walk of
they have really rich
yeah,
people in
yeah, and
Ijebu. Ijebu people are
the
rich.
Hollywood Walk of Fame is a basic ass walk. It's a ground with names, famous people. You don't even see the famous people when you go there, but there are like There are like tiny businesses selling
Yeah.
souvenirs and whatnot.
To be
Just
fair, Hollywood Walk of Fame is
famous
kind of a shitty
things.
place.
Come on now, like I feel like we can do better.
so what would be the equivalent now in Ijebode, for
So
example?
for
Of
Ijebode
what?
Walk
so
of
for
Fame.
example, a big one would be the
Honestly.
fabrics that they are wearing, the fabrics they're wearing. It could be a way to sell it. Oh, we sell fabrics, textiles. Guess what? A lot of foreign people they
Yeah.
love that shit. That's the kind of they want to make it
But
dress. Oh,
a lot of those
I
fabrics
got this from a
that they are wearing,
festival,
I didn't know imported.
and we'll import it and say it's ours. I mean, come on now.
I think I
Love that
hear
we
like there's a
told you. Then the
thriving.
person
What do they
madam be
wear?
like, oh, I sold this in Nigeria for $20. Da, 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 da.
Mm.
Like
Oh my
you
god,
can,
that's not good.
Okay,
That's
yeah.
I think this is what we're going to do. Ijebu people get in contact with Orode and Sherman. They have a few ideas for you.
I don't
Pay
have any
them,
ideas.
pay them some small money, and
I
they'll
have
come
no
up with something
ideas.
to put Ijebu
But
on the map.
I mean,
But
Ijebu is not a. I'm not about to start slandering Nigerian towns, but like Ijebu is like an historic town, historic kingdom. It can, no offense, like it's just like this should not be the only thing where it's like, okay, 3 days in a year it's hot, and after that,
I
okay,
I
we're
just
back.
think that that
It's a
is
Nigerian thing,
such a
sure.
Nigerian, exactly, it's such a Nigerian thing. Like,
I don't like it, and it
hmm,
annoys me.
we all don't like it, but there's so many layers
It's
and
so
factors to why
triggering for
these
me.
things
I
are the
get
way they
it.
are.
True,
Transportation to
true.
those places, security. So let's, before we open a can of worms, let's
It's
leave.
not.
Let's
I
put
mean,
a
it
pin.
also has like. I can go on for this. It has a lot going for it because it has proximity to Lagos. Chepu is like 1 hour away from Lagos.
Yeah, but what
Well,
are the
depending on
condition
what
of
you
the
call.
roads, Shimon?
Now the road with the talk
That's
first.
what I'm talking about. Like, there's so many layers to why people don't do what they
Yeah.
need to do, or go back home as often as they need to go back home.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just put a pin in Ijebode. But
No,
hopefully,
and this is not Jebu they slander out. Just
But the
FYI,
hopefully,
before
problem
they start
exists.
coming for us that, oh my god, in
The
Jebu,
problem exists.
hopefully they're having a
Jebu
good.
start coming for us like, oh, where are you from?
The government exists in
Let's
different
not get
parts
into
of
that.
Nigeria anyway. So Yeah, you can extrapolate it to
Yeah,
other
so
parts of
they
It's
can
not
expect
just
any
yes.
place. It's not just them, but we'll put a
yeah.
pin in that. And happy Eid to everybody that
Mm.
celebrates.
Yay.
If you're in Jebu or from Jebu Ode and you went back home, hope you guys had a good time celebrating your I know that I'm not pronouncing it well, so Ojude
Mhm.
Oba. And yeah, can't wait to see the pictures from all the Regbe's and everything. I'm
It should
excited.
be like the
Thinking
Met. They should be
fashions.
streaming it like the Met Gala. So
It could be
Right.
like the
they
Met
can
Gala.
do
This
something
could
very
be like a thing
outfits.
where
Like
well,
Okay,
already.
okay. We're doing
I
too
think
much
they need to
now.
consult us at this
We're
point.
doing too much now. We're giving out too much
I think
information.
they need to consult us. There could be like, the steez,
Not this. Oh my God, Shaman, please, I
the
beg.
steez walkway. How do they but like it should be a whole thing. I'm telling you, this could be a thing where like every Eid you want to be in Djibouti for the whole month.
Shaman is
I
hyper
have a vision
fixated.
for this.
He's hyper
Djibouti, call
fixated
me,
on these
ring me
things.
up.
You should call him so that people can talk. But already you did mention that you went to like that entrepreneurship showcase. How was that?
oh yeah, a few days ago, it was, gosh, it was great. Why was it great? Right. So basically, quick summary: they're an accelerator. They are affiliated with University of
Okay.
Toronto, and they're called Black Founders Network. And what they do is they help Black founders, so entrepreneurs, creators, and startups, and so on, to take them from inception to, I guess, to the market and so on. And they help them with funding. They're affiliated with, or they have on their board executives from other organizations, so that helps with funding as well and so on. So the
Mhm.
thing that I went for, it was great just because I the ideas I didn't know what to expect, right? Because I was like, okay, let's see what kind of ideas that an institution and organization like this would be supporting. Obviously, I'm sure there is more diversity, but obviously, lots of people were doing things that included AI and so on. There were a couple of ideas that really stood out to me. There was someone who used to be a teacher, and he was using AI and technology to create like a tool that would help teachers harmonize all their note taking, tracking students and tracking the activities to help them track the students faster. So if it normally it's like, oh, after the term that they would find out that the student is struggling, but they can find out after like a week or something. So just things like that.
Okay.
There's somebody else that she came up with this idea for creating hair extensions that looks more like the texture for black hair texture when it's
Mhm.
yeah.
Wow.
So
I'm always interested in that. Black women on
and
their
she
hair.
was, so they had different levels. Her level was like the one that has gone to market and is bringing in like proper revenue, and she's already supplied to celebrities and stuff. Like she was really, and it was just really interesting because it was inspiring to see people come up with ideas and then decide to take that. There's somebody else who created like what is it called? Like a SAS, SaaS, software as a service thing
Okay.
for ethnic
Software
grocery
service.
stores for their inventory tracking, order management, all these things.
Oh, okay.
Just really, really
Mm.
interesting
That's a good
ideas.
idea.
And these are like people, it was inspiring. I think it was nice to see that. And it was also nice to see that founders can go somewhere and find it. Although now we know what's going on in the US, I'm sure that's kind of going to be a big topic in terms of how they're going to be affected in the US, but at least in Canada there's something like that. So I thought it was really cool and I thought it was really interesting. I also thought it was really inspiring as well because they were also creating like internship opportunities for students as well to work with them and have that experience. I thought it was really cool. It was really great. I didn't stay around to network with anybody, but I just went there and I felt satisfied. I was like, okay, this is really interesting. And then I just I went home after, even though I didn't really get to speak with anyone, but the
um,
showcase was great. I think it was really good experience. And people are creating things.
yeah, people's brains are working.
Creating people are using AI to do amazing things.
How many times do you hear the word AI title?
Bruh. I think, let's say the first group there were maybe, I don't remember the number is exactly, but let's say there were 10 of them, maybe seven out of the
Um,
10, 6, 7 were using AI specifically, right? Because they were all using tech in some way, but AI specifically, maybe the
okay.
6, 7 of them were using AI for their products.
No,
So
that's cute. That's cute. I think that's one of the great things about living in Toronto. It's like you get exposed to all these things, you meet all these people, you see all these things, you hear all these things, and I think it inspires you in a way. kind of like how people say you move to New York and you're never the same. I think that's Toronto for Canada. Like you move to Toronto and you just hear people doing like a lot of great things. So you're also like spurred or inspired to like want to be on that same like trajectory or wavelength, which can be good, you know, outside of the expensive cost of living.
Yeah. And there was a social enterprise there as well, which I really liked. I like the idea that social enterprises can or startups can get funding as well. 'Cause I imagine that the bottom line is important for a lot of investors, but if you can make an impact and improve bottom line, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, no, that's really
Yeah,
good. Love that.
that's cool.
I think one should go to more things like that to get inspiration and see how things are going for everybody. Okay, guys, something has been bugging me. It's this conversation that's been going on Twitter about braiding hair.
Speak.
Have you have you guys seen it? Where
I
it's
mean,
not just braiding hair. Let me be more specific because braiding hair makes it sound like braiding, but about doing cornrows for 40,000
I saw
naira.
the photo, so I know the thought. I'm aware.
Okay. So I think from my understanding, what started it was people were complaining about the cost of braiding hair. Oh, let me stop using braiding hair. Of doing cornrows in Nigeria, like how salons are charging like 8K, 15K to just do all back, right? And it became a whole conversation. People were like, oh, that's somebody's hard work. Of course, they should be able to charge how much they want to charge. All of that stuff. And then some girl goes like shortly after and says, oh,
one and
I
see.
did this cornrow one auntie. I did this one and I did this cornrow, and each time I paid 40,000 naira. And then people started dragging her, being like,
I say, yeah,
this is so insensitive. People are complaining that they can't even
40,000.
afford like basic all back. And here you are talking about you did 40,000 naira all back, which I think I kind of agree that wasn't the right time to be like, well, me, I did mine for 40,000 naira, you know. Admittedly, it was a little bit more fancy than just all back. It was all
Yeah,
back with design and it had, what's it
but
called?
still 40K.
She used attachment,
All back
was
with
still
some
40K
all
for all
back that
back.
went to Unilag.
Do you understand? Yeah, it was giving all back that went to Unilag. Maybe at best, all back that went to like Covenant University, but it just,
But still now all back, Sha.
still not all back, sha. But and Nishaman doesn't make it braid his hair, so
I do not.
I don't expect him to have like a lot to say about that. But like, just the cost of beauty services is quite alarming.
Yeah. You know,
It's
I have a theory, right? If you want to make money,
I agree with this
tell women
theory.
that this thing you need to do it. Just target when it comes to women's beauty, skincare, hair, nails. Just do something like that. Like think about how many hair vendors exist in this world, and they're all making money. Like they all do
and they're all allegedly making
let's go
money.
allegedly there, but they are all still 4 5 years. They're still there selling hair, so maybe there's some money coming in. Hair, oh, the same hair, the same extensions, the same hair. They're all selling the same hair, but they are all still making money. So I just think that when it comes to beauty, and now Vanessa, to your point, right? So I went down this rabbit hole, YouTube, um, and there is now this explosion as well of people on the internet, influencers, telling people, oh, you need to do your maintenance, you need to do this. They're spending money on hair, they spend money on nails, they're spending money on this. So they're spending ridiculous amounts. Let's say in Nigeria, I'm sure there are people spending. I think there was one video I saw. What was it she did? And she paid like 50K. She paid a ridiculous amount. And people were like, oh, why would you pay that much? And she was like, oh, it's for comfort. I think they give her champagne or whatever in the place, right? The thing is, I think what we don't talk about enough, or maybe they spoke about it on Twitter, I'm not that present on Twitter, is the fact that people are paying this amount. As long as people continue to pay it, those people will continue to charge how much they're charging. That's a fact.
Why
Yep.
not?
That's the only
Why
solution
not?
is for everybody to
Why
say, you
would
know
they
what?
charge?
I'm not paying anymore. Count me out. Everything will,
Yeah.
that's it. That's my opinion, Sean.
Yeah, it's just interesting. Like again, and then there's now the argument of, oh, is braiding your hair like a luxury, or getting cornrows, is it a luxury or is it not a luxury? And the entire discourse has gone in so many
I
different
think
directions that I'm a bit
is it a
confused.
thing of if you have the money, you will do it at that amount and probably will not care. And
I should just
everybody else will be like, this is kind of crazy to do for the summer. Okay, like we have a friend, all of us, for mutual friends, all of us. She was saying they were giving her when she wants to go to Lagos, she wants to do a like home service. And the bill that coach she got was for like 120K. And I was like, that sounds ridiculous.
Ooh.
That sounds ridiculous. That just sounds so. I mean, I don't know 40K, it's talking about 120K. So it's like some of it is like, oh, they know that you have money and they know you can pay. So they're going to charge you that amount. But you shouldn't now be like, oh, this is fine. This is the price. That's where I'm like, I'm not really sure. It's like, oh, well, but this is actually what the price is when you factor in. She's coming from Ujo Elekba. She has to enter bus. So when you think about this thing, 120K is what she needs to charge. Like, nah, bruh, she's not charging anybody else that. She should charging you that. Not saying the 40K is, I don't know what the price is, but it seems to me like that's not the normal price. That's just the price for
Well, that's specific.
a few people who can pay
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
And I struggle with that.
I do. I struggle with that
What
a
do you-
lot.
I struggle because I feel like when people say there's some things that clearly are not the target audience, right? Like it's a luxury service or it's a luxury good. So
Mhm.
like the bag costing $8,000, there's going to be never nothing they're going to make to bring it down. You're just not the target audience. Like forget about it. But when it comes to things that are indigenous and culturally part of our way of life, right? To be outpriced out of it, and then the argument is you're not the target audience, is such an intellectually lazy
And
line to use
insensitive.
because this is part of our culture. This is part of how we live life. This is how our forefathers were able to navigate life and all of that. So for it to now get to the point where something that is such a strong and core part of our identity that's crazy. That's
Well,
really crazy
are
to
they
me.
really priced out, or these people are just flexing that I can pay this amount? Is it that? I feel like some of it is I'm flexing that I can
I
pay this
think
amount.
what I think it is I think yes, some people are priced out. At least with the way Nigeria is now. In fact, the whole world actually. But we're talking about Nigeria here. The way Nigeria is now, everything is expensive, right? Customers that let's say before you were charging, I don't know,
Let's start.
let's say like 10K, right? Or 12K for the cornrows. You've now pushed it up to 40K. First of all, with the cost of living crisis, 12K was already too much. You've now pushed it up to 40K. You've priced out like a significant portion of your customer base. They're going to go find someone else. And this thing of is not you're not the target audience. Is it Nigerians? If everybody uses it a lot, and I've seen the same argument with like the fashion space, right in Nigeria. Everybody is doing a
Yes,
lot
I was
of
going to
fashion.
say it. Everybody's charging in dollars. I don't
Where's
understand what is
the
going
You're
on.
not
equivalent
you're
in
not the target
Nigeria?
audience.
Where is it? Everybody's thrift.
You
Is
have
that
the
thrift
target
or luxury? Where is
audience.
the in between ready-made clothes, fresh, not thrift or not second-hand, affordable? Where are they? Why is everybody not my target audience? Not everybody has a fucking crazy amount of money.
I don't think that. Okay, I think it's on the fashion thing. Maybe some people, maybe there is a target audience. I don't know. Maybe in weddings, maybe.
They're not
But like people that are selling just Nigerian streetwear and you are charging 300, 400K, what's the target audience for that? How many people are actually going to buy that? Like I'm always just confused that you are selling Nigerian streetwear. You don't put plus two, three, four on it. All of a sudden, 400K. Like, why is it so? Like, I don't understand.
Why is it
Something else
like
must be going on
extreme?
because I don't think people can buy
Yeah,
that.
and it's the same thing with hair because right now with the internet, if Nigerians vex and decide that they're going to start learning how to make their own hair, you've lost customers. So get it
Maybe
together.
people should.
Get it together.
I mean, for women, you getting your hair done is always more expensive because you can't really relate that. Well, yeah, but it's still not the same. It's like, okay, even in the US, how much do I get a haircut for? I mean, like, the most expensive haircut I'm getting like $65. For you guys,
I saw a video recently of men in I think it was in Canada. They're complaining, oh, the cost of a haircut has gone up. Like
Because of
I used to pay
haircuts,
$30
yeah.
dollars, now I'm paying $50 I'm like, if you know, all the way off. Excuse
don't get
it's
the
called
problem.
inflation. It's called inflation. But
But yeah,
that's
women, you guys,
crazy.
the cost of beauty for you guys has always been way higher than maybe even
It
I don't
has
know, but
been,
like I
but I
don't know.
think that every year or every few years, like it just increases astronomically to the point where you're just like, what are we doing? And I
Maybe I
think
should cut my head.
yeah, maybe I should come. And that's just hair, right? And I think for me, just in general with women's beauty, I now begin to ask myself, like, do we actually need all
Yeah,
of these things?
it's
Because
ridiculous.
I don't know, but I don't remember our mothers doing all of these things.
Vanessa, let me tell you, that video or those videos I watched about, because I'm not on TikTok, but I've seen some of these on Instagram, because you know how they eventually end up on Instagram, right?
Uh-huh.
About creators or some influencers, and obviously they're going to say, "Oh, this is my lifestyle," blah 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 blah. Fine, but the things I'm seeing people do these days, then Shimon, let me give you an example. Some people are spending 500, 600 per month on maintenance dollars. That includes hair,
What does this mean,
it
please?
hair, it includes
Maintenance, like
hair,
maintenance
eyebrows,
culture.
lashes, nails, um,
Nails,
um,
waxing,
waxing, yeah,
Jeez.
facials. Some people now they included
facials.
facials to their monthly routine.
So is this an evangelism that this is what you should do?
So
Or
there's an
is it a
idea on
flexing, no, this is
social.
my life? Because now
Uh-uh.
person when they breathe, they spend that kind of
There's
money.
an idea on social media that to live a soft life or a baby girl lifestyle, these are the things that you need to do. And it's all these things that already has called out now. Getting your hair done monthly, getting your brows done monthly, getting a facial monthly, getting your nails done monthly. What else are they doing? If you're into fillers and Botox and all of
Oh,
those
let's not
things,
even
getting
include
those
fillers and
done
Botox. That's some.
regularly, waxing regularly, just a bunch of stuff that people do to make themselves
Yeah,
feel like pretty,
lashes as
pedicures,
well.
manicures, all of lashes, all of this stuff,
That
whatever enhancements you
the
do.
the gospel is you should be doing this if you want to be,
Yeah.
living
The
a
gospel is take care of
Yeah,
yourself,
gym,
right? And in
Pilates
order
for
to take
some
care
as
of
well.
yourself, yeah, gym, Pilates, all of that stuff. In order to take care of yourself, these are the kind of things that you should do, right? I think my issue with that is when you're looking at like the average life that somebody is living, those things are not, they're not feasible to do them every month because you still have other bills that are going to pay. Not everybody
Mhm.
makes $10,000 a month.
Exactly.
Most of the population makes the average income. Like, go and check what the average income is for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
city that you live in or for the country that you live in, right? Most people fall. There's a reason why it's the average. Most people fall there, and by the time you pay for like your regular bills and all of that stuff, you actually cannot afford it to be spending $500 on just maintenance. Or this new one, the most latest one is this whole "with me for maintenance before I go on my trip" culture,
Is
or
that?
come
Oh,
shopping for
sorry.
shopping. Why can't you wear the clothes that are already in your closet when you're going on your trip? Why do
You
you have
have
to buy a
to you have
brand
to
new
buy new
outfit?
clothes
It's
now.
going. But I think all of this at
Maybe
the
we
end of
should
the
buy
day,
them. Yeah, I want to buy Shein stocks. No.
well, all of this at the end of the day just ties into
Consumerism.
consumerism. And
Mm.
if there's a word, over consumerism,
Yes,
like there's
overconsumption. Yeah.
consumerism and then there's hyper
Yeah.
consumption, over consumption. Living in times of over consumption or hyper consumption, and it's crazy to witness real time, because then people that are just living their day-to-day life feel like they're not doing a good job at their life because they can't do
Left
this
behind.
over consumption.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they're left
And then
behind, when in reality you are not left
and there is
behind. That's
this
what real people
link
do.
between, I think, gosh, there are so many nuances to this conversation, right? In terms of, so it started off from the cost, right? What I think is happening is me, my own, I always blame social media for every problem. So bear with.
I was actually going to say, what does social media like? Is there an impact?
Oh
I
no,
feel like
social
there
media
is.
plays a part. How is it playing a part? First of all, some vendors or whatever, they're seeing how much other people are charged. Or there's the rhetoric that, oh, you should be charging this, you deserve more. Fine. To be honest, if I can't afford your services, I will not patronize. I won't even complain, because do you, right? But social media is contributing to that. That's the first thing. The second thing is with things like influencers, content creators, everybody now is shifting towards this luxury lifestyle, soft life. And the soft content creators, they are peddling this whole thing of my weekly maintenance, what I do, blah, blah, blah. Their followers are in turn thinking, this is what I need to do to live a soft life, attract attention, be a baddie, whatever the motivation is. And they then go on themselves to go and do these services. And guess what? That's hiking up the demand, right? Demand, prices
Mm.
go up. Beauty vendors, whatever, they can charge over because they have so many people coming in. And then this thing is starting in 20s. We're seeing 21, 22 years paying this amount of hair. Someone was telling me that they were talking to somebody, the person was 19, the person was like, oh, I'm spending oh, they don't have money and they're spending so much money on their hair because now people that are teenagers in secondary school, they are getting bust down wigs. Like it's in the US, maybe in Canada, they are getting weaves. And do you know how much a weave costs to install? About 300 and something dollars. So imagine
I wonder in Nigeria,
every
what are secondary school girls doing? Are they still doing
they're
all
doing
haircut
makeup in
and stuff?
Nigeria,
What's
from what I
the
hear.
I
We're
mean,
not doing makeup, they're doing makeup. That's what I don't know the other rest.
yeah, Nigeria is there are different tiers now because of all the extreme, like there's the poverty and then
poverty?
so everything is just very jaga jaga right now. But like some of them be doing weave,
Yeah.
some of them be doing what's it
Because I
called,
remember when we were kids, like
braids. So it depends. It depends on what
braids
your
was it
parents are
mostly.
allowing now.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Yeah,
they're doing more than
it's
us,
just
sure,
crazy.
when
But
we were younger.
oh
More
yeah,
than what we were
Yes, they're
doing.
doing
Because
yeah,
what we're doing was
they're doing
like
skincare.
ah in
yeah,
secondary school.
they're doing
They're doing
skincare.
skincare.
Yeah, they're doing
And
skincare.
skincare is
I
another
know my
beast
little
that I don't
cousin,
even want to get.
my little
But at that point in secondary school, like your skin is probably quite great or not because of acne
Yeah.
actually. So maybe they do need skincare.
No, at that point you need skincare. But when I say skincare, these people are using retinol. You do not need retinol at the age of 17. In fact, you're ruining your skin. You're going to age faster than your mom at that point, or your parents, because you're
Yes,
ruining your skin way too young. You can use, obviously, if you have acne, that's a different discussion. You should be moisturizing and sunscreen. Of course, you should use skincare even at a young age. But they're using all these things that they shouldn't be using at that age, and they're spending money on it as
Yeah.
well, right? I mean, there was a whole discussion
Yeah.
about it, about like 12, 13-year-olds going to Sephora, spending like almost $1,000 on skincare products because they've been influenced by social media. This
Influenced
discussion,
by social media and a lot of this skincare that they don't
they
even know,
don't know.
like some things you don't need for your skin. Anyways, I wish everybody the
Yeah, so
best.
the hair thing ties into that. I mean, and I
It ties
No,
into
it's
it.
definitely it's a complex conversation because it also ties into that whole like people complain Ghanaians. I feel like they complain about it more than us. We Nigerians do too. Or well, Africans like people come from diaspora. Oh, I can make my hair for $30 here, and they put
And you know what pisses me off about that whole thing is when the people on in the comments are like, "Oh, you should have paid them more." They deserve-" I'm like, if you don't shut up and get the fuck, because you are.
Because you are part of the
Yeah.
hyperinflation that we're
you have
experiencing.
people that drive the
Fools. How
inflation.
dare you come and bring your American mentality and complain? This is not the US, you know?
I'll be like, oh, $30. Oh wow, I got like this. 30. I would never see this in the US. It's like, oh my.
Just do your hair and go.
I actually don't know how I feel about that. Like I feel like like if you go somewhere you are always surprised. Maybe you shouldn't be, but like, oh, the dollar is strong. I can't. But I don't know if you should now go out and be like, oh my god, this is so amazing. That's what I'm never sure about.
What I think.
Interesting things are going on just in general, with, like beauty
Praise.
and beauty standards, especially for women, unfortunately.
As a woman in this
Or do you want to
world,
say
I
something?
think there should be customer segmentation. I think customers who can afford to pay more, they should have their own, right? But I think at the same time, there should be sense with it as well. Because, for example, cornrows, 40K is really a lot for it, to be honest.
And because I can afford to pay more does not mean I
Yeah,
should
it's
like
really a lot. Like
no, no, no.
cornrows are
Like
great.
there should be
Come on now.
balance.
Like,
You too, you should tell yourself that.
I guess, but sometimes like you get into a salon and they tell you 40. It's you know
You
what?
just be like, oh, I mean, I can see it's for like, I can't lie. Like, if I was in Nigeria, this is me. When I was in Nigeria, I used to get haircuts for like, this was a while ago,
I
300
knew you were
naira,
going to mention one very
300
price,
naira.
and I'll just be jealous.
That was a while ago, to be fair, it's 5 years ago. So let's say now that haircut costs 1,000 naira, so because it's tripled the price. But if I go to Nigeria now, and the last time I went to Nigeria, and I was like, okay, that's about my hair. I think I got a haircut once in Nigeria for 6,000 there. I knew that was like crazy expensive in Nigeria. Like I was like, this is a crazy expensive because I know for sure this is not the average I'm about. Like, oh, whatever, what the fuck? Like, what do I care? It's like $4 to me or whatever, or $3. I was like, but what I would not do probably is where I'm going. This is me. Not go on my Instagram on ring light and be like, oh, I just got
I just got my hair done. I just got my hair cut for $4.
I mean, look at the
Hello.
paid. It's $3. That's what I would not do. But I mean, I guess people would do it. But that's what I wouldn't do. That's just kind of where I draw the line.
It's definitely a
that's
very
crazy.
interesting conversation because the whole thing with the price, it ties into so many different facets of, like Vanessa said, beauty for women,
I think we should get somebody that is in the beauty industry, like maybe owns like an
We
aesthetic
definitely should.
Yeah.
spa, something or
But
whatever, and kind of just like
you know
discuss
Because they
they,
might have
what's going
costs that
on.
they
we
didn't
don't know,
drag
like
us to the issue now.
generator.
They're
That's
standing
fine,
firm in
but
their
that's fine, but like
prices.
let's let. I think that's we're gonna look for somebody and
Yeah.
have that
Yeah, that's actually a very
have
good
that
idea.
conversation. Yeah, so let's would because I feel like we're also having the conversation from the point of consumers,
Exactly.
right? Let's hear
Mhm.
from the industry professionals what
They'll
actually
tell
is
us now.
what actually
There's
is leading
value
to all
added
of
too
this.
now. Some of them
Yeah,
are doing. Like
yeah.
I saw one barbing salon in.
Stop it.
I
Let's
saw
not talk.
it.
No, 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 no. I know where he's going,
Did you?
and I'm not having that
What
conversation with
now?
you.
No,
Yes.
I want to
Moving
know.
on. No, no,
Is
no,
it the one
no.
with the
I can't even
girls
have that
or
conversation.
The one with the what though?
the one with the women? It's,
Yes, that
yeah,
was
okay.
that's the value
Yeah, yeah,
added.
yeah.
So I mean, maybe you're paying 10,000 naira for it, but really actually the price of their cost is 1,000. The women are the extra nine. Maybe that's it. So value added
Again,
service.
like I said, I will not be participating in that conversation for very obvious reasons.
Yeah.
So
We
moving
Okay,
definitely
okay.
need
on.
to do, I feel like we need to talk about
I agree.
beauty, beauty standards, and especially for
That's why we
women,
have to
right?
bring somebody.
Yeah. We need to, because this ties into a bigger issue just of the cost of
Yep.
wanting to look beautiful and I understand because all the vendors are, oh yeah, it's a luxury. I'm like, Vanessa, you said something so important, so key. When I hear that thing, I'm just like, for black women though, it's different. In my opinion, black women in the past, from what seeing the women in my life, we go to the salon more than I feel like
Yeah.
other races of women.
Yeah.
Other races of women are going for a cut and a
Mm-hmm.
color maybe every 3 months or something. In the past, it used to be
Yeah.
like
We
once a
go like
month at
every two
least.
weeks.
Yeah, it's every 2 weeks actually. But now everybody's cutting back.
We go like
So
every
it
two
used to be
weeks.
part of the lifestyle.
Yeah,
You go, you
because
get small cornrows, you get, braids, you get this. So I feel like it's not a,
heck, as a child, I
yeah.
braided my hair
You're like
every
going to the
week. I
salon,
had a new
yeah.
hairstyle
So
every
it's not
week.
necessarily a
Every
luxury. I don't know where this way of
it's a
thinking
luxury
is
because you just
coming
need to.
from.
Well, I don't even know. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
because
like
when you're a
again,
kid, they will do the announcements on like Thursday or Friday
my
or
school
next
didn't
week.
even have announcements for
We
that.
had
But I think
announcements.
just as a way
Yeah,
of
we did.
but I think just as a way of keeping your hair neat and whatever. My mom just made me.
No, no,
I
but I
cut
think
my hair
that's
every
also
week,
kind of like the
max every
school.
2 weeks.
Yeah, but that's kind of the school saying we want your hair not
Yeah.
looking.
Yeah, not
We don't
looking
want you wilding
exactly
out.
So,
It's
so
your
what
hair.
even used to happen
right.
is like, obviously when I was a child, I used to go to sound, but in secondary school as well, they would announce it. And then because I was in boarding school, they would bring hairstylists that will braid your hair for you and then you pay them. So and this was every
Yeah,
week. So it wasn't like definitely a whole
yeah,
thing.
definitely every week.
So
Yeah. All
Okay,
right.
I think we've flogged this topic
We
quite
flogged
enough.
it exactly quite enough, but we have a new segment of our podcast that we're toying around with and trying to see how that works. It's called I Saw a Tweet. So, Shimon, what was that look? There was a cut. There was
I
a cut because I think what Shawan is trying to tell me is he doesn't have a tweet for us
do you
today.
know
Okay, I will
I did not
start.
see a tweet. I mean, I saw a tweet, but I can't remember. I tried to look for it. I can't remember. I couldn't find it.
I saw a
It was a
tweet.
hot one.
I saw a tweet, right? But my tweet was a video,
Mhm.
and I don't even want us to spend too much time on it because it's kind of very useless. But
Let's have it. Let's have it.
I saw a tweet. It was the tweet of Okoyemi Famakin's
Oh, right.
perfume video. That's my I saw a tweet. Now, I'm not one. How do I put this now? I'm not one to be angered by people a lot, but there's just something about the way that he conducts his things that just really, 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 really irritates
he's
me. And that
condescending.
video, I think, had
Yeah,
yes, and that's the
he's
word.
quite
It's very
condescending,
condescending, and I
and
think
he
that
he has no right
video
to be, to
had
be honest.
everything. Do you
Mm.
understand? He really doesn't. And I think that video encompassed everything that was very irritating about it. And if you're on social media, you most likely have seen the video or of that tweet or what as the case may be, and you know what I'm talking about. So that's why I saw a tweet for this week. I just because it was even fake. Anyways.
So let's unpack it for a minute. So I saw the tweets. But I did not, honestly, I did not really take
Yeah.
it because it's like this kind of bullshit. But his whole thing was like, I buy the most perfumes or some shit. What was this thing again?
So it started off with somebody saying that Mr. Macaroni smells really nice. And then Mr.
Mhm.
Macaroni then does his own tweet or video to show you what the perfume is, right? That smells really nice, or the perfumes that he has that smells really nice. So Mr. Macaroni goes, he does his video, he says he smells nice. So I think not well, because I'm not in his head, but Okoyemi saw it and he wanted to respond to it, or according to him, he wanted to cook content. So he comes online and says, I'm the best smelling man in Lagos, and this is what
Did somebody tell him that? So he
I don't
just
know
literally
if
said,
somebody again, the same way he calls himself Nigeria's biggest food critic is,
that
you
one
know,
I can't understand.
yeah,
I mean,
no,
I
he gave
feel
himself
so.
that title. Nobody gave it to him.
Yeah,
He gave himself that
that's
title. So
okay. Fuck
this
praise allowed.
best smelling man in Lagos is also a title he gave himself. And then he posted a video. The video that really irks me though was the one where he said blew another 1 million naira on niche perfumes just
I saw
because
that.
best smelling man in Lagos quotes me on that shit. That's the one where he had fake
Yeah, I
perfumes,
saw
right? And it
that.
just
Yeah.
and people were telling him like this is fake, and he just wasn't taking accountability for it. And I've always
Mm.
said this, that as an influencer, as a content creator, as somebody that has a following of people that look up to you in whatever capacities, doesn't have to be a role model, but like they're following you for information, for whatever it is, there's a duty of care with how you handle the people that are entrusting you with their followership. And part of it is making sure that whatever you're being clear and honest in conversations that you're having with them. So if he knew that those perfumes were fake, right? What he should have said is, I'm buying like fake perfumes or deep perfumes or whatever.
They didn't know they were fake.
It's true. Did he
But
know
he's
though?
claiming
He
he
may
didn't know
not
they
have
were fake.
known.
And then he's claiming he did not know that they were fake. But to now be
Mm.
called out that they are fake and still not take accountability for it by saying, damn, I messed up. I didn't do my due diligence. This is actually fake or whatever. It irks me because I just feel like you're taking your followers for idiots. But again, maybe the followers don't mind that they're being taken
I
for
wanted to
idiots.
say that. Maybe the other.
So if the audience doesn't mind, then that's fine. Because I'm not one of them. I don't follow him. I just happen to see the video on my timeline.
I,
You know.
And
So
to be
maybe.
honest, that whole perfume thing, I know, let me know his word trigger, because triggered is actually a very serious word, but it annoys me because I just don't understand why
It
people are
grinds your
spending
ears,
so
yeah.
much. The whole explosion in fragrance,
Fraghead.
fragrance, yeah, fragrance,
oh,
but
that's what they
yeah,
call themselves.
it's
Yeah.
really irritating me because it's also, this is another thing. I don't know, Vanessa, because
Consumerism.
I'm also a fragrance person, but I don't believe in shelves and shelves. I think it's a waste of money and it's stupid
It's a
because,
waste of time and
yes, if
money,
you're a
yeah.
fragrance person,
Over consumerism.
yeah, thank you, hyper-consumerism. It is also increasing the prices of perfume. If you've been buying perfume for years, the average perfume was not the average bottle now of, let's say, regular, like the brands we know, they're like 150. It used to be cheaper as well. It used to be less, not cheap, but it used to be like more around 100, maybe
Yeah,
a
it used to
little
be like
less.
100,
No,
to
the average bottles are
120s.
expensive.
Now it's kind of like
And
150
people are buying
starting.
shelves and
Starting
shelves
point,
of
yeah.
perfumes because they feel like they have to have. When you know what? Let's leave it there. We'll put a pin in that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I can't lie. I live with one of those people, so I'm not going to relate to them like that.
Chaka moment. I'm going to send that to your wife.
It's,
Good job. Okay.
I'm not going to relate to them. But I mean, I share your opinion. Personally, this is me. I find one or two perfumes. I'm okay. Even that, I don't even think I've ever bought a perfume for myself in a while. It's like, oh, someone says it's a perfume, they think it's nice. I think it's nice. I'm going to use that bottle till it finishes. When it finishes, somehow, I'll get another one I think is nice. So I don't think I ever have more than 3 or 4 bottles
I actually
max
lack.
ever. And I feel like that's too much. I think that's even too much. So I don't know how people do it with like 20 or shelves. Because are you using them?
That's the thing, and they expire as well because you can't actually have them for too long. After, like, is it a year or something, like they go
Oh,
off or something like that. So it's just,
Yeah,
anyway.
but it's
Let me
crazy.
do my own tweets
We'll put a
quickly.
pin in that.
Yeah.
Let her already share your own. I saw it too.
Yeah, that beauty thing, we are going to discuss it. It's very important, actually. But
Yeah.
what thing?
the
Sorry.
beauty,
Yeah, no, I'm
yeah.
on board. I mean, let me just defend Upwell for like half a second. Not on this perfume matter. Not on perfumes. I actually think that he's very clickbaity
He's very what, sorry?
and people he's
Clickbait.
doing these things because he knows that they're going to drive
Of course.
whatever business. So I think sometimes you need to tell me. I tell myself that this guy is just trying to round me up, and I'm not going to fall for this. I'm not going to. That's usually what I see when I see all these kind of things.
Fair,
Like, yeah, this guy's trying to round me up. I'm not going to
fair
fall.
enough.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that's what I said too on
yeah,
Twitter after all of this.
rage
But
bait.
yeah,
Anyway, so my own what I saw was it was a video of Cosmas Maduka. I don't know if you guys saw that.
I did
Whatever.
not.
So
I haven't seen it.
it's a he was on a podcast with someone else. Can't remember the exact details, but of like what the podcast is. But he was talking about how parents can be dream killers because some parents are too protective or they're too restrictive of what their children are doing. So if a child comes and says, "Oh, I don't know, I want to be a painter." Painter? What do you mean by that? Da, 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 da. You know, like they limit kind of the things their children can do because it's coming from a place of I want to protect them
Mm,
from failing. But he was saying that parents should let children explore more and do more things and even fail at things because that way they're able to uh, explore things better. And I thought that was so interesting coming from someone like him, right? Who is so successful, a Nigerian parent, you know, Nigerian parents, this is they have PhD
Uh,
thing, like
mm,
they, you know.
and a conservative Nigerian parent
Yes.
because
very
he's
conservative.
very,
Yeah.
he's very
Yeah,
old
very,
school with a
very
lot of
old
his
school,
thoughts.
like,
Yeah.
you know, very so
I wonder if he applies this to his children. That's the
if
purpose.
he has, I think
I
he
think
probably
it does
I
does.
because
mean,
his
he
children are
must be
pretty
practicing
front.
what he's saying. I
His
imagine.
children are pretty front facing, and they seem to be,
Are
I don't
they
know his
yeah,
kids.
yeah, yeah. Okay, so I
like front
know
facing in the business or
not just
front facing?
not just in business, but okay, on maybe on socials a
Oh,
bit.
okay.
So his daughter is married to somebody that's very front facing and whatever. So I
Mhm.
from that like we get a glimpse into it, and then his son, one of his sons, is also married to a babe that's pretty front facing, and get a glimpse into their life from that. They work in the son works in the family business or whatever, but it seems to be doing like also things that make him happy, and a bit of a deviation from what being raised by like trad parents
Yeah,
would look like and all of that. So I'm guessing that he's taking his own advice. That's
yeah.
my 2 cents.
And because to be honest, if you read up, if you follow a lot of successful entrepreneurs, especially those that are self-made, that's literally how they became how they were, right? By exploring, failing, having the freedom to explore,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
actually that was the tweet I saw for the kind of video, social media, whatever, and I really liked it. I thought it was good advice
That
from
was
an
your thing
Nigerian
for the
parent.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. More of that. More of that. Unfortunately, our young man here, Sherman, doesn't have a tweet of the week.
Next
For us,
time, I shall come with
but
the best
he
I
will
saw
be
it
back
with.
with the tweet of the week for us next week.
Yeah,
But I think this was a very chatty episode. We did cover a bunch of things and go back and forth a
it
bit.
gave us some food for thought.
You give us some food for thought, and I think clearly you can, from the conversation, you can tell things that we're a little bit interested in having a conversation about. So we will come back to you guys with more on those stuff, like the beauty thing, and see how things go. But any plans for the rest of the weekend or the upcoming week? Anybody doing anything exciting?
I have nothing exciting planned, honestly. My
Yeah,
life is kind of
yeah,
non-exciting, except my kid, I guess.
oh no,
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
staying in my
Who's
house.
really
I'm
cute, by
tired.
the way.
Or you should do something exciting, though. You should go out.
Next weekend. Next weekend. Yeah.
Next
Right,
weekend.
it's tired on already's behalf.
Tired.
I don't have anything exciting. My brother's graduating on Wednesday, so that's exciting.
Oh,
Yay.
congrats.
Yes, thank you.
Congratulations. It's
So
always a big deal.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep. So we're gonna go for that, and that's about it. Nothing much, nothing less, guys. I know, sounds like we're boring right now, but it's just that phase of adulting. We're all just trying to, get a hang
Yeah,
of it.
well, this has been a fun episode. I really
Yeah,
enjoyed
this
it.
was a great episode. I enjoyed it. A lot of
Yeah.
banter. So that was great. But yeah, that's all from us this week. Again, let us know your thoughts, your comments, if you want to see certain people, or if you have recommendations on any of the people that we said we want to see or talk to. Let us know
Mhm.
I
in
think
the
that's a
comments
good one.
section. Follow us on Instagram at the Three Commoners. Um, we try to share more on there. So if you want more into like our personalities and like the things that are exciting and interesting to us, that is the place to be. And make sure you subscribe to
Smash
the
that like button.
podcast. Yes, on whatever platform that you're listening to this. But this has been great, and we will catch you guys on the next one.